Good morning, good morning, good morning everyone. Welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with the same module, that is a VSTO code, or sorry, that is Office Solution Development. In the last class we have discussed about the VSTO code that is used behind a document in the Excel. That is how to use the VSTO code that is used behind a document in Excel environment. That is the VSTO code. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class, then moves to today's topic, that is how to use the VSTO code in the Excel and the Word together so that we can make the Excel and the Word in the efficient manner. So let's start with the previous class session what we have covered in the last class. So in the last class we have started with the VSTO code behind the document in Excel environment. So in this section we create some simple code behind a document in Excel using the VSTO. So first we have to set up the document, that is we are creating the VSTO document and choose the file new, then go to the this one, that is a new, then the project menu, and that is used for the navigation between the view menu and the navigation menu. How to use the navigation menu in the document tool, that is one of the part of the document menu. So there is a VSTO code that is going on behind the document that is used in the Excel, that is Excel environment document that is used using the VSTO we have studied in the last class, that is available with the Visual C Sharp root, and we will create an Excel workbook project using the C Sharp. And if you already have a workbook, that you can add the VSTO customization using this one. This is one of the concept that is used with new project. So there is a new project that is available, there is a Visual C Sharp, there is a Windows, Office, Excel workbook. This is one of the template that is used with Visual Office templates. So there is an Excel workbook that is used. So using the new project dialog to create an Excel workbook project. So there is a Visual C Sharp that is used with this one. There is a template that is Excel workbook that is going on in this one. And then there is a Word document that is using the new project. There is a Word document that is the Excel environment, that is a new project or Excel workbook project. And then this is the Visual Studio environment for making the Excel comfortable. So selecting the workbook with the code behind what kind of document do you want to use. Then this is the Excel sheet that we have studied, that is how to use the Excel sheet that is available in the Excel environment, that is used with the designer view. It is used with the designer view for showing the output, for showing the content that is used in the designer view. So this is one of the main concept is that one of the important concept is that it is available in one sheet, that is it is available in one of the environment. So the main content is that Excel is running inside the Visual Studio 2005 as a designer, just the same as a Windows form designer that we would use when developing the Windows project environment. So whenever we develop the Windows project environment, that is studied or that is developed by using the Windows environment that is used for making the project, for making the content that is available in this one, that is using the Windows form project environment, right? String 29 that is available in the Excel worksheet. So this is used in the Excel environment, that is used for the designer view that appears like a designer view. So it is a designer view or perfection that is available in the designer view. So it is used in the design as a complementary for the making the Excel environment. So first of all we have to use the Excel inside the Visual Studio. This is one of the main content, that is the Excel is used or Excel environment is used within the same environment that is available in this one. So it is used with the Excel environment for making the project, that is used with the form that is used when developing a Windows form project. So second, look at the menu bar which is available at the menu bar. There are various menu that is available for the menus item. Then this is the toolbar that is used with the tool option. So these are the various tools that is used with this one. So there are various tools that is available with this one, that is spelling, research, attach to a process, then connect to a show base or connect to a database, then connect to a server, then the code snippet, whatever the tool, whatever the scenario that is available, that is used with this one for making the content, for making the tool that is available with the checkboxes, that is used with the checkboxes. So that is available with the checkbox environment. So we can use the checkbox environment for making the content, for taking the content available with this one. So these are the various tools that is used, like spelling, research, error checking. So that is a third that is available in the figure 2.9, that contains in the, or that is contained in the various checkboxes that is available in this one. Then there is a Excel control that is also available. So when designing with the database, or when designing that database that is available, so we have to use the databases that is available with this one. That is used in that Excel environment. So that is a part of the Excel. So there is a figure 29 that shows the various control, various charges that is available with end users, that is contained in the Excel tool environment. So there is an Excel menu item that is familiar to the Excel users, or the toolbox item that is familiar to the Visual Studio users. Fourth, now what is the notice that the properties that is used in this one, that properties are used in the Excel environment for making the content, for taking the content that is available in this one, that is used with this one. So that there is a content that is going to use, that is used in this one for making the content available in the Excel environment. So there are the properties window that shows the properties, that is how to use the properties windows that is available, and you can use the properties window to edit the properties. So there is a properties window that is also available to edit the properties, that is what the properties that is available, that is used to edit the properties in this one. Now fifth, there is a solution explorer that has 4 classes. So this is a solution explorer that has the 4 classes that is used in this one, and that is used in the already, and each underlying Excel environment and the workbook object is represented by the .NET class. So each workbook or each work is represented by the Excel environment by .NET class that you can extend and customize as per the user requirement. And as you make changes to the document in the designer view, the code behind updates automatically changes. So whatever the code that is used, that is automatically changed in the code environment. For example, drag a list object from the toolbox on the sheet 1 designer and draw it to be 10 rows by 4 columns. So whatever the document, whatever the tool that is available, that is used with the 4 environment, that is used with the content environment, as shown in the figure 2.1. This is a figure that is shown. There is the Excel workbook, that is a Visual Studio or Microsoft Visual Studio, that is available in this one. And as you see from the properties window, the designer has chosen a default name from the new list object. So designer has chosen a default name object that is used with the new list object, and we can also edit the object. We can also give by taking this example. So let us take the code that is used behind this worksheet. So what is the main code that is used behind this worksheet? So this is the creating a list object in the designer view. So choose a default name from the new list object, and we could edit it, but in this example we will keep the name file that is a list1. So we will keep the name file as a list1. Let's take a look at the code that is used behind this worksheet and make some simple tips that is used to change to it. So whatever the tool, whatever the scenario that is used with this one. So right click with the on the sheet1.cs in the solution explorer and choose the view code. So first of all, right click on the sheet1.cs in the solution explorer and then choose the view code. We are going to briefly illustrate two VSTO features, that is the action panes and the list object data binding. So whatever the data binding, whatever the list object that is used in the action panes and the list object data binding, and we will declare a Windows form button as a member variable of the class and call it my button. So it is called it as a my button. In the startup event that is used, that we will show that the buttons in the document action takes a pane of the Excel environment or Excel by adding it to the actions pane control collection. So whatever the control collection, whatever the data that is available, that is used in the action panes environment, and that will use to show the document actions that is a part of the task pane and display our information or our button. We will also check the or handle the click event of the button, and when the button is clicked, we will bind the data in the object to randomly generated the data cable or data table. So whatever the data cable or data table that is generated, that is available in this coding. This is a code that shows the listing or VSTO customization that adds a total or control to the document action task pane and data binds a list object control to a data table. So whatever the data table, whatever the data object that is available, that is used to bind the data object or that is bind the data on a data table. Now these are the various we can say the option that is used in this one. There is a using system.data, then using system.drawing, then using system.windows.forms, then Microsoft.Visual Studio.tools.applications.runtime, then Excel equals to office.interop.excel, then Office equals to Microsoft.office.core. So whatever the core concepts, whatever the content that is available, that is used to make the task pane, that is used to make the data that is used behind a document, that is used to list the project, that is controlled by the data list object, that is controlled by the data table, that is available in this one, that is used in this one for making the content available, for making the data available, that is a VSTO object. So these are the various header file that is included in this one. That means first is the header file system, then system.data, then drawing object is declared over here, then there is a system.windows.form, that is a Windows form will be generated in this one, then there is a Visual Studio.tools.application.runtime, then which Excel is used, that is a Microsoft Office.interop.excel, then Office environment is Office.core. So these are the various header file that is used in this one. Then there is a namespace Excel workbook. So there is a function that is defined over here, that is the Excel workbook 1. Then there is a public partial class sheet 1. So there is a public partial class available, that is a part of the sheet 1. Then button, my button equals to new button. Then this is the button, or we can say that this function has a feature, so this function provides or gives the output or result, that result will be available in my button. Then data table, one of the variable is declared, that is a part of the data table, that is a data table. Then private void sheet 1 startup. So there is a private function that is declared, that is of the void type, so the return type is void. Then sheet 1 underscore startup, that means the startup event will be used over here, and there are two arguments, one is the sender, one is the e. So a sender is of the type object, so that is the object sender, and then event args e. So whenever we are using the sender e, so there is a my button dot text that is equals to the data bind, that is my button dot text contains the data files or the data bind that is available with the data bind, that is used with the my button dot text, that is available in this environment. So that is used in this environment. So there is a my button dot text, then there is a my button dot click. So there is a click event that is available with the click concepts, that is plus equals to the new event that is available with this one, that is a my button dot click, that is plus equals to the new event handler my button click. So there is a my button click that is also used with this one, that is also available with this one. So there is a my button event that is used for the declaration of this concept. Then there is a globals dot this workbook dot action pane dot controls dot add my button. So this is used first of all as a data button or data bind, that is used with this one, that is used with this concept. Then there is a my button dot click, then plus equals to new event handler. So new event handler will be taken out, that is what is the name of the new event handler, the name is a my button underscore click. So that is a event that is carried out, that is a my button underscore click. Then globals dot this workbook dot action pane dot controls dot action add my button. So that is used with the this workbook. Then there is a action pane, then there is a control, then add my button. So add function will be used, that is used with the my button control. Then curly braces will be closed. So this is one of the function, that is a startup event that is used with this one. There is a object sender, then there is a event args e. Then there is a void my button click. So this is a void my button click that is used with this one. Then object sender, then event args e. So there is an object sender that is used, and there is an event args e. Then list one dot data source, that is equals to the null. So that is a list one dot data source that is used, that is a null event. Then table equals to new data table, that is a table is used to store, that is a new data table. Then random r equals to new random function. So that is a table is the variable that is used to store the new data table, that is whatever the content that is available in the data table function, that is stored in the table. Then there is a random r, then new random. So there is a random r that is used, then there is a new random function. Then for loop will be used, that is int I equals to 0, I is less than 4, I plus plus. So this is the for loop. So that is, they start with a 0, then there is a that is I is less than 4, so it will go from the 0 1 2 3, because it is less than 4, not less than equals to 4. It will go from the 0 1 2 3. Then there is a I plus plus. That means every time it is incremented. Then tables dot columns dot add. So there is a add function that is used with this one. That is a table dot column dot add. Then column plus, or column, that is plus I dot toString. That is a column I plus toString function will be used. Then for int, if I equals to 0, I is less than 20, I plus plus. So that start with a 0, that end with the 20. So there are total 19 elements that is covered, that is from 0 to 19. Then there is a I plus plus. Then table dot rows dot add. So there is a table dot rows, that is the rows function will be used, or the rows content will be used, dot add. Then r dot next double function. So the next double function will be used, that is r dot next double, r dot next double, r dot next double, r dot next double. So there are 4 times in which the function will be called, or function will be accessed, or function will be declared or calling. That is r dot next double, r dot next double, r dot next double, and the r dot next double. Then there is a list1 dot data source. That is a list1 will be used as a data source, that is equals to the table. That is a list1 dot data source. So these are the various header file that is used with this one, and this is the function name, then this is the public part, then this is the private part, then void my button, that is declared with this one, then my button click, then object sender event argse, then list1 dot data source null, then table equals to new data table, then random r equals to new random. Then the for loop will be used over here, then the for loop will be used over here, then list1 dot data source, that is equals to the table. That is the list1 dot data source will be available, that is equals to the table. That is the list1 dot data source, that is equals to table. Then this is the curly brace that is closed over here. Now next is private void sheet1 shutdown. That is a private void function is declared, that is a shutdown event, then object sender event argse. Then this is a reason, that is a VSTO designer generated code. This is a summary. Then this is a required method for the designer support, that do not modify the contents of this method with the code editor. And there is a summary function. This is a summary function that is used with this one. Then private void internal startup. So there is a private void internal startup, that is the one that is declared in this one, that is a private void internal startup. Then this dot startup plus equals to new system dot event handler. So that is used with the new system dot event handler, that is available with new event dot system handler. Where is that? So that is a startup event that is available with a new system dot event handler, that sheet1 or sheet1 underscore startup. Then this dot shutdown, then plus equals to new system dot event handler. So one event handler is the startup event, and one event handler is the shutdown event. So there are 2 event handlers that is available with this one. One is the startup event and one is the shutdown event. Then there is the end of the reason that is used with this one. So one is the startup event that is available with the startup event, and then is the shutdown event that is used with the event handler, that is a shutdown event, that is a sheet1 underscore shutdown. Then there is the end of the reason that is used with that means the ending of this part, that is the end of the reason. Then there is the curly brace close, curly brace close. These curly braces, 2 curly braces are closed for these 2 functions. One is a namespace, that is a main, one is a next, that is this one. So this is the code that shows how to use the video customization, or how to use a code that is a customization that adds a control to the document task pane, that is available with this one. So this is the system, then system.data that is used with this one, then system.drawing, then system.windows.form that is available with this one. So these are the various header file that is used in this one. This is the database, this is the button, that is available in this one. All right. So this is the code that we have studied. In the next class, that is in the Monday's class, we will going to study what is the code, what is the explanation of this code, and how to use this code that is efficient for making the Excel environment. So let's stop over here. In the next part, or in the next class, that is in the Monday's class, we will taking the next, that is the explanation of this code. So that's all for today's session. And if there is any doubt, you can ask the doubts from me regarding any that is maybe assignment, that may be this topic, that may be any topic, you can ask the doubts from me. All right.